It's time for the Sports Report with your host, Mike Prince. For scores, updates, and highlights, Waller County area, the Sports Report is your one-stop spot. And now let us join in today's program.
All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, February the 18th, 2014. Mike Prince here with you and the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and of course, the Tuesday edition of the Sports Report. A up and down night last night for the Panthers, if you're a basketball fan, and we'll have some more information about that coming up. And we're going to have a quick look at tonight's competition between the Waller Bulldogs and the Georgetown Eagles. Keep it locked where you got, and we'll be right back with the Tuesday edition of the Sports Report. What if I told you that for $36, you could make a big difference? At $36 a year, you can become a listening partner with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This annual donation would help us continue the success of our broadcast throughout Waller County. Visit our website at KTORradio.com and become a listening partner today. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. All right, welcome back here to the Sports Report. As I mentioned, last night was an up and down night if you were a Panther fan. What an exciting game for the first game between the Lady Tigers and the Lady Panthers. Man, they went back and forth. It took 2 overtimes for them to finally decide who the winner would be, and it was none other than the Lady Panthers coming out on top 82-75. In the nightcap, the men struggled against the Grambling State Tigers, losing by the score of 83-81. Leading score for the Panthers in the men division was John Briscoe. John Briscoe had a total of 22 points. Montreal Scott had 20. 16 points by DeMondre Chapman, 14 points by Hershey Robertson. Leading score for the Grambling State Tigers was a Torrey Shine. He had 21 points, 19 points for Chandler Thomas, and you had 12 points for Tyron Bain. Total shooting for the Tigers, 27 of 46 from the field, 5 of 11 from three-point range, and 24 of 33 from the free throw line. They had a total of 30 rebounds, 22 defensive rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds. They ended up with 83 total points, and for the Panthers, they were 26 of 59 from the field goal, 13 of 33 from three-point range, 16 of 25 from the charity stripe, a total of 30 rebounds for them as well, 15 and 15 on the offensive defensive side, and their total was 81 points. Now the Panthers were outscored in the paint 30-22, and they had the bench lead with 23 from the bench versus 18 for the Tigers. So the Panthers blew a golden opportunity to stay ahead of Texas Southern, and they dropped the ball, if you will, and now they'll have to regroup as they get ready for their upcoming road trip. We'll get ready to give you more update of the female side of the Hoop Dream, and we'll be right back right after this break.
It's basketball season, and you know what that means. Fast breaks, slam dunks, block shots, and game-clinching free throws all captured right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of Waller County athletics. Serving the Waller Bulldogs, the Hempstead Bobcats, the Royal Falcons, and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. You can catch it all at KTORradio.com or join our listen line at 213-401-0037.
All right, welcome back to the Sports Report Tuesday edition. Don't forget that tonight at 6:30 Central Standard Time, we'll be bringing you live coverage for the Waller Bulldogs as they will be taking on the Georgetown Eagles from College Station. We'll be there to give you all the fast break action, as you can always rely on us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Now, as we were mentioning, the Lady Panthers did a fantastic job by rallying the troops to pull out the double overtime victory. They had some upstart playing by Larissa Scott. Larissa Scott came off a serious shoulder separation, and she came back and she had to come in due to some foul trouble. She ended up putting in 22 minutes and she was able to get 11 points. She had 9 rebounds, 3 of them on the defensive side, 6 on the offensive board. She was 1 of 3 from the free throw area. She was 0 of 3 from three-point range and 5 of 9 from the field. Now, we were able to catch up with Larissa Scott and with assistant head coach Tron Griffin. So we'll hear them back to back, hear what they have to say, and then we'll be right back. You're listening to the Sports Report on the Tuesday morning edition right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Now, Larissa, you had a total of 11 points tonight, 22 minutes played, but you had 3 key block shots. And as you get to this time of the year, it's all about defense, and defense is what wins championship.
Yes, that time of the moment, I just knew we just needed stops. And if we did stops, we was going to get the win.
Well, you did a great job tonight on helping your team get the win. Good, strong performance. Go and get some ice on that shoulder, and hopefully you'll feel better. Miss Larissa Scott putting in a strong night, 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from free throw line, 9 rebounds, and 11 points. Girl, you was 1 rebound short of a double-double. Why couldn't you get that double-double?
I could. I ain't gonna make no excuses.
All right, Miss Larissa Scott, thank you so much, ma'am. This is Mike Prince, and we'll be back.
It's I guess you can say it's the Panther way. Coach Brown talks to them all the time about, not getting pushed around, being physical, being aggressive. Of course, you don't want to do anything, outside the rules or anything outside the lines that'll get anybody, put in a situation where they can't play. But, one thing about Prairie View is Prairie View has made themselves a product of a hard-playing program. So it's tough to come in here and play in this home crowd, this home environment. And, the physicality of the game, I think our girls just did a good job of stepping up to the challenge.
Now, one thing about it, a lot of people complain when they took out about 2,000 seats when they did the reconstruction. But when you talk to opposing teams, they like it, but they don't like it because you're on top of you, and it gives you that home field advantage.
Oh, yeah. It definitely gives you that kind of feel. Everybody's on top of you. Of course, you always, the more the merrier. Of course, if we could pack more people in here, that would be great. But I definitely think this is one of the best places to play at when our fans get in here and get behind us and we get rolling in the country. I wouldn't pass this up for anything.
Now, Coach, you played in the MEAC, and you come from the MEAC, another historically black conference. What are some of the similarities and what are some of the differences between the two conferences you've been around?
The MEAC and the SWAC are 2 powerhouse HBCU conferences. In the MEAC, I would say it's just as athletic. The SWAC, the players are a little bit quicker. The MEAC is more of your traditional basketball players, your traditional point guards, your traditional shooting guards. You see a lot of that in the SWAC. You see a lot of undersized guards, undersized post players, and they just get up and down the floor. Like I said, though, you're talking about 2 powerhouse conferences in HBCU. And, fortunate enough for us last year in playing a MEAC program, we had good success. So, you always want to be able to come out and play tough, when you're talking about 2 HBCUs battling it out.
Now, the last time you and I got together, we talked about Larissa Scott coming in and contributing. She played big tonight, but Coach said that they're going to probably rest her for the rest of the season. But this young lady had 11 points, 3 block shots, 3 steals, and she played, I think, 22 minutes or 12 minutes, and she didn't get none of that until the overtime play. So she really stepped up big for you all tonight.
Yeah, Larissa, just like I said, on Saturday, Larissa's been, practicing about 80% the last week and a half or so. And, what she brings to the table is just consistency. Larissa's going to rebound the ball. She's going to fight. She's going to stick it in there. I know she was in some pain tonight, but she fought through it. And just like I said, on Saturday, is we got to make sure she gets that rest because we're going to need her to step up and give us some good quality minutes during the conference tournament in March.
All right, Coach Tron Griffin, Phi Beta Sigma Tron Griffin of the Lady Panthers. Man, thanks so much for taking time out for coming and be a part of the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We appreciate you all allowing us to hang around and do what we do for not only the university but for the community. Anybody want to give a shout out to before we get out of here?
Not at all. Just want to say thank you, again, to all the fans, the alumni, friends of the program, everybody that's listening out there. Stick with us. We're heading to get on the road on Friday, heading to Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley. So make sure you, say some prayers for us and keep listening and cheering for us.
All right, Coach Tron Griffin of the Lady Panthers. This is Mike Prince, and we'll see you on the other side.
And again, we'd like to thank Coach Tron Griffin and, of course, Miss Larissa Scott. As you heard, they're going to try to put her on ice, if you will, to try and make sure that she's saved up for some quality play during the upcoming SWAC tournament. It's always a pleasure to talk to the coaching staff, win, lose, or draw. So we do thank them very much for taking time out of their busy schedule to allow us to bring these programming back to you. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. We'll hear from Coach Don Brown, the ever so tell it like it is, Coach Don Brown. Stay tuned. It is Tuesday morning, February the 18th, 2014, and you're listening to the Sports Report. What if I told you that for $36, you could make a big difference? At $36 a year, you can become a listening partner with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This annual donation would help us continue the success of our broadcast throughout Waller County. Visit our website at ktorradio.com and become a listening partner today. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. All right, welcome back to Tuesday morning edition of the Sports Report. Mike Prince with you. Thank you so much for following and joining us on the Sports Report. I want to remind you, in case you hadn't heard or noticed, we've changed slightly our Twitter following. Instead of OMBN_, it's just now simply OBN_radio. That's OBN_radio. You can follow us on iHeartRadio at iHeartRadio.com. Go to the talk section, and from there go to sports and go to OBN Sports. And you can also go to our Facebook page and like our Facebook page. Can you do that for me? Just simply look up Open Mic Broadcast Network. Go there and like our page and help spread the word about what we're trying to do for not only Prairie View, but for Waller County. Now, speaking of Prairie View, I love interviewing Coach Don Brown. Coach Don Brown is a Jackson State alumni, but I promise you, she act like she got some PV in her blood sometime. It was a joy talking with her. She's been consistent with her candidness, win, lose, or draw, and that's what we really appreciate about her. We were able to catch up with her about the game that was played on last night, about some of the chippiness that was going on, and her concerns about Larissa Scott. So we're going to flip it over right now, hear what Coach Don Brown has to say, and you're listening to the Sports Report, and we'll be right back.
All right, Coach. Hey, another solid win. It took you 2 overtimes to get it done, but it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there, right?
Right. I told the girls before the game started, we had to be consistent, and we definitely had to be committed to what we needed to do. Down in the stretch, we had some good plays. Jeanette Jackson taking over in both overtimes. Lorraine Washington being resilient on defense, and that's why we were able to be victorious tonight.
Well, look, you had a strong performance by Larissa Scott. We spoke to her briefly. She said she was in a little bit of pain. Do you have any update on her right now?
Well, we're going to probably ice Larissa into the SWAC tournament. She needed to be at probably about 90 to 100% in order to be effective and help us out offensively and defensively. So she's back at 60%. Her shoulder popped out some tonight, which is not a good thing for her. So we definitely won't use her again into SWAC play.
Now, it's not going to look like she's going to need surgery or anything like that, huh, Coach?
She will have surgery after the season is over. That should have been something that she would have had earlier, but we just let her try to play through the tolerance of pain.
All right. Now, Coach, you're getting yourself set, and I don't know if you heard the show on this morning, but I like your swag that you got going on with you. And that's not bragging or boasting. Even when you were 0-11, you still had the swag. You said, y'all just don't know yet. These girls are going to step it up a notch, and they're doing just that. They're stepping it up a notch.
Well, like I said, Mike, they believe in the system. They believe in me. They believe in this women's basketball program. It's a winning tradition here at Prairie View, and the young ladies are excited to be a part of this program. And not only are they excited about it, they want to be able to compete, and they want to leave a legacy. And I tell them all the time, what are you going to be known for when you leave Prairie View? Jeanette Jackson, Lorraine Washington. Lorraine want to go out with a bang her senior year. She doesn't want to be remembered just as Lorraine, who got 4 rings. She want to be remembered her senior year as a person who helped contribute to get a ring to us. So, you got to be proud of kids that can come in and play hard like that, seniors that step up and make those crucial plays down there in the stretch.
A lot of people don't like to admit it, but the team takes the image or the spirit of their leader. And so are these mini U's running around on the court right now?
Well, I tell them all the time, I'm definitely, when I play basketball, I'm very intense, very tough. And I want them to be tough and be able to withstand some things down in the stretch as far as when the chips may fall and when Grambling took a little lead, you got to keep your head. It's words that was exchanged from our players as well as Grambling players. However, you got to back it up on the court. And I told them, I said, you got to back it up on the court. We're not going to get in a talking battle with anybody. You got to respond to that by responding on the court. So, that's a part of me within them. Them being tough and definitely coming out ready to fight hard second half. And especially in the stretch then when these 2 overtimes.
Well, Coach, it showed that because at the end of the game, I know it was a very competitive game, but you should always try to display some sportsmanship. What happened with them just walking off the court at the end of the game?
Well, at halftime, one of their players said something to our players right at our locker room. The visiting team's locker room is right there at our locker room. So, the campus security had to come in to break up the kids exchanging words with each other. So just want to make sure our kids are safe and the overall well-being of the student athletes, which is important. So we just had to make sure that we weren't going to be in a brawl or anything going out.
Okay, so it's just one of those methods of being safe rather than being soft.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, well, good deal as the music fades down right now. Now, Coach, I heard you ask the girls what's your legacy or what you want their legacy to be. You've played. I've played. What do you want your legacy to be as a coach?
Well, I definitely want to continue the winning program here at Prairie View. Being the fact that I'm on an interim status right now, we have a lot to prove. I have a lot to prove. It is what it is. I mean, that's the realistic approach of it. So, just coming in to get kids to play hard for you, definitely want them to graduate. I want to have a 90% or higher graduation rate. That's important to me. Making sure that these kids are taken care of, that's what's important to me. Although basketball is what got them here, it's other factors that keep you here and other factors that are important. As far as academics, as far as getting involved in the community and doing different things that's around the Prairie View family. So all of that is important to me as the head women's basketball coach here at Prairie View. I take a family aspect as far as with the young ladies, invite them over to my house periodically for holidays. If we're going to barbecue, Coach Tron and I, and as well as my other assistants, and we extend our families to them, and that's what's important. And that's why down in this church we can stay together as a family, stay together as one.
Well, I'm taking a little offense to all this. Y'all having barbecues and stuff, and y'all hadn't invited me at least one time. What's up with that, Coach?
We had one Sunday for the All-Star game. But it's always good fellowship. I definitely, I trust my coaches as far as, them doing what's right. And that's how you have to be. You have to open up and extend your home to your coaches as well as your team. And that way you let them know that, if you can extend your home, we're your we're home away from home. And, you know, we tell them all the time, we're going to be mama and daddy while mama and daddy not here. So anything you need, we're going to be here to provide it and take care of you. So just the small things that we do to have, like, team chemistry and things like that.
Now, Coach, I know you don't like to talk about the other teams in advancement, but I know you didn't took a glance at the rest of the season and what you got. Right now, you got a stronghold on that number 3 spot, and realistically, that's kind of where you really want to stay, because it'll take, let's be honest, a miracle for one of those other 2 slots to open up. You think so?
Well, one of the spots have opened up. You know, Southern can't compete in postseason, so technically Texas Southern would be number 1, and we're holding the number 2 spot. So, you know, we just want to play numbers a little bit. We got to take care of our schedule. We can't really worry about who's going to knock off somebody else. Although, you know, that's the play of the cards, the pull of the cards. You would want that, but, you know, that wouldn't matter if we can't take care of business on our end. So we just got to focus on that, make good plays, and finish out these next couple games really strong.
I love that. You just take care of our business, and we don't have to worry about looking over our shoulders, right?
Right.
Coach Don Brown, the head coach of the Lady Panthers here on the campus of Prairie View A&M University, victorious in double overtime, had to work a little overtime, but they come out with the victory, 82-75. Coach, thank you for taking the time out. We always appreciate you dropping by, and go and get you some rest and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Coach Don Brown for the Lady Panthers. As I mentioned earlier, it's always a joy and a pleasure to speak with her, share a little inside joke with you all. She's a Delta, and Deltas, for those who might not know, they're Delta Sigma Theta. And me being a Sigma, I tell her, you know, I'm the glue that's holding you together. You can't have Delta Sigma Theta without that Sigma being in the middle. And she just always chuckles at that. So she's always a good sport about it. And we appreciate her very much. We are going to take a final break, and we'll come back with the closing segment with what's going on ahead today. We got some baseball today. We got some high school basketball playoffs. There's a lot going on in Waller County. Keep it where you got it, and we'll be right back. This broadcast has been made possible by the support of the Prairie View Athletic Club. The Prairie View Athletic Club is a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics. For more information on becoming a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, send your email to pvathletic.club@gmail.com. That email address again is pvathletic.club@gmail.com. Prairie View Athletic Club, a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics.
Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
All right, and welcome back to our final segment for today. I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. I enjoy putting it together and getting it to you. As we have mentioned, it's basketball playoff time for the Waller Bulldogs, an exciting time for the Bulldogs. They have not been to the playoffs in basketball since 2006. So Coach Earl Claiborne and the Bulldogs will put on their traveling shoes today, and they will take on the Georgetown Eagles in College Station. We'll be there. The game is scheduled for a 6:30 tip-off, and we plan to be there and give you all the live coverage. Speaking of coverage, the Prairie View A&M University Baseball Panthers will be in action today. They'll be hosting Texas College. That game was originally scheduled for on the campus of Prairie View. However, due to construction that is yet to be completed on the campus, that game has been moved to the Urban Youth Academy in Acres Home. The Urban Youth Academy in Acres Home. First pitch is scheduled for 1 p.m. Come on out and check out the Panthers baseball squad. Want to remind you, we also have some games scheduled to broadcast for the Panthers in the upcoming 2014 season. You can go to our website at ktorradio.com, go to the sports section, and right at the very top of that page, you'll see a downloadable PDF baseball schedule. Want to thank you all so much for another terrific Tuesday. Hopefully you're having one, just as I plan to have one. And if I don't get a chance to tell you, always do your best if you can't do nothing else. This is Mike Prince. Thank you so much for joining us on today. God bless. And remember, you can join us tonight as we'll bring you live coverage for the Waller Bulldogs and the Georgetown Eagles. I'm going to say goodbye for now, but not for long. And we'll see you on the other side.
The Sports Report is a production of the Open Mic Broadcast Network located in Prairie View, Texas. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network is the official voice of Waller County Athletics.